Okay, well, that's good. It's starting to finally cool off here. Okay, we've got audio going. Sorry about that. So tell me a little bit about how things are going.
Sure. Things are going actually very, very well here. On the 1st of May, I had 21,000 soldiers, and when we got up this morning, we had 9,655, which is our 1 September set. Just an absolutely amazing drawdown. In May, we had almost 8,000 vehicles. Now I've got a little over 3,000, and all of those vehicles have left Iraq. They're not in some parking lot somewhere. They've gone to Kuwait, Afghanistan, or back home for training. It's been a phenomenal feat of logistics and staff work, and I can't say enough about the soldiers and staff officers, logisticians, and Army civilians and contractors that put it together. On the Iraqi security force side, quite frankly, we've been in the advise, train, and assist mode for several months now. We've turned over the operating environment. We used to call it the battle space. We've turned over the terrain to the Iraqi security forces because they can handle it. They are capable. The Iraqi army is capable of handling a counterinsurgency. The violent extremists have been brought down to a level by all of us together, taking out their leadership, taking out their financial networks. It brought them down to a level that the Iraqis can certainly handle them, and they have been handling them for the last 90 days or so. And so we're very, very pleased with the progress.
Now, General Cucolo, I know you said that they're handling the insurgents, but we noticed, I think it was just a couple days after that major drawdown, there seemed to be a spike in violence in Iraq. Can you speak? I mean, is there always going to be violence in Iraq? Are you ever going to be able to completely eradicate it? And can the Iraqi security forces handle that?
Sure. Well, first let me explain the spike in violence, because I know the folks at home don't get the full story. First of all, we are in the middle of the holy month of Ramadan for the Islamic community. Every Ramadan is an opportunity for violent extremists to make a statement. There are a variety of cultural reasons for that, but unfortunately, that is a chance for them to increase their attacks. Every Ramadan in the last 7 years, there have been increases in attacks. That's number one. Number two, I have not seen more media in Iraq since the election on March 4th and 7th. The enemy knows. They are media savvy, they are information savvy, they have websites, magazines, etc. So they knew that the run-up, the announcement of meeting the 50,000 mark, the change of command that's going to happen on Wednesday between General Odierno and General Austin, they know that the change in ambassadors, they know that the media focus going on in Iraq, with particularly the change in mission, is going to bring all kinds of media in. All kinds of media are here, and so it's their chance to get back on the world stage by conducting attacks. Now you're sitting at home and you hear a spike in attacks. Some of them are tragic and awful loss of innocent life. I'll give you an example. On the 25th of August, we had 22 attacks, extremely high, unusual number for my area of operations north of Baghdad. 8 of those 22 attacks hurt someone. The rest didn't touch anyone. They were ineffective. And so telling the rest of the story is hard, because we don't get that detail out there. There's an increase in quantity, but an extreme decrease in quality, if there is such a thing, for quality of attacks. They are less effective. And that's because of what I said about the Iraqi security forces. They have really knocked the enemy back and are successful at counterinsurgency operations right now.
Okay. And can you speak a little bit also, when we did see all this video and all the media coverage of the drawdown of troops, everybody thought, yay, the war's over, everybody's coming home. But in reality, the third ID is still there. The third ID is going to be there for a while. Can you just talk a little bit about that to set the record straight?
Yeah, sure thing. I think there was confusion about the combat troops, combat operations thing. 1 September is a change in mission. We are ending combat operations and beginning stability operations. My brigades that I command and control, so our Major and I command and control, arrived in Iraq as advise and assist brigades, combat capable. same equipment, same training as all the other brigades that ever came into Iraq, but they had an additional plug of officers, between 35 and 45 officers, additional officers who serve as advisors, and they have special skills. They receive special training, and then they join the brigade either before, during, or right after their train-up and deployment. Anyway, to set the record straight, end of combat operations does not mean end of fighting. The enemy certainly doesn't recognize that, but it means a change in our priorities. We will focus, with the remaining soldiers we have here, completely on advising, training, and assisting the Iraqi security forces. That's our focus. But families especially out there need to know, if we are shot at, we're going to shoot back. We have an aspect of this, stability operations that allows for active force protection. That means we're going to protect ourselves. And it also, I'll tell you what, let there be no mistake. I hope people don't think that end of combat operations means that we're going to be sitting on our fobs. My goodness, with 9,655 people in the same space that I had 21,000, we are all in. We are extremely busy, and we're going to continue. And so there was going to be a change in mission, but there certainly was no change in our deployment timeline. 12 months for the majority of the units. As you know, the headquarters of 3rd Infantry Division got almost 13. We're going to be home around the 4th of November. But all the brigades are still on a 12-month track. That should not change at all. And if I have a family member listening wondering, gosh, it's end of combat operations, are they coming home? It's 12 months. And listen to your brigade, ask your brigade, are we still on track? When are we coming home?